Hey, this is my first time posting Cubix Friends. Does anyone have a good multi-slotting alg for this? Any good multi-slotting algs? I want to learn an alg for this case because I got it in a solve, and I wanna I wanna learn an alg. All right. Enough screwing around. So you get to the last two pairs, and you got two flipped edges and two adjacent slots, and you've also got like two corners, kind of not where you really want them. Should you learn a multi-slotting alg? Short answer, no. Long answer. We're going to get into the long answer. So here's something you can do to turn this general mess of two flipped edges plus two corners not in the U layer into something a bit more manageable. And what you can do is either SR S prime or SR prime S prime. What that will do is it will reduce your cube to something that can be done with only R and U moves. And in this particular case, this is kind of more advanced, but if you notice you have a corner like this that's like an R prime away from solved, or if it's like here, it could be like that, it's like an R away. You can also do it to solve a corner at the same time, and then you could insert an edge and then do pseudo slotting from there. You could even influence how you insert the edge to potentially get a better case. So I think if you've got two flipped edges and adjacent slots, a lot of the time doing something like that will be a really good call. Even if you don't choose like the most efficient SR 3-move trigger to like set things up nicely, you're going to be putting yourself in a very good position to finish the solve quickly. Now I'm going to share a couple ideas of how you can do that while throwing in a little bit of efficiency. I kind of already showed one of those already. If you happen to have a corner that is like an R or R prime away from solved, you can do that, and then you only need to do 4 moves, and you could to insert this edge here, and you can do that 3 different ways to potentially make your last slot better. You could also do keyhole with the other edge to do the same thing. So that's one nice little trick. Now let's assume that the corner is in the U layer. I don't want to use this corner actually, let's use this one, and we will twist it a bit. So if you have the corner in the U layer twisted like this, so we're focusing on the front right slot, not the back right, but you can like mirror all of this stuff and get all sorts of different options. What you can do is you do SR prime S prime, and then you have this nice like pseudo slotting scenario where you either do keyhole or you insert the other edge and then do a pseudo pair, and that gives you like 6 pretty practical options to get a really efficient last 2 slots. I guess you could also throw in like sledge inserts like this to potentially influence stuff, but it's very rare that that's going to set up like a significantly better last slot case. So there's one trick there. The next trick I want to show is for the same case. Instead of solving the corner like that while getting these edges into an R-U-able position, you could put the corner over here and do SR S prime and then get a built pair. This gives slightly less options, but it is still a pretty solid option overall, and you will have a true RU finish, which is arguably a lot nicer and more practical for on-the-fly speed solving. And then the last kind of setup would be if you have something like this. So you have like this F12 pair and some flipped nonsense in the back. What you can do is, with the corner in the front like so, you can do SR prime S prime, and then you have this 3-move pair like so. And then you can get a true RU finish that way. And everything I've just outlined can be mirrored to the back as well, and it can also apply to F12 cases where the edges are flipped and they need to go into different slots. However, these tend to be less of an issue because you can usually solve one pair intuitively like this, and then the other pair will be a lot nicer because it'll kick the piece out and end up in the U layer. So there you go, that's my little tip. Thank you for watching. Whoops, I'm not done. Alright, I'm going to quickly show a couple multi-slotting tricks that I actually do think are worth learning just because they're like stupid easy to recognize. Here's one here, 2 flipped edges, F, triple sexy, but you're doing fat turns. F prime can also do inverse sexy if you like the finger tricks for that more. There's one little trick there. Here's another one. You've got 2 pairs like this. You can do R prime U, R prime F, R2 F prime, and then insert that. This is also a good trick to know if you want to solve this and you've got a flipped edge here, regardless of like where this corner is, like it could be here. You can just do that and then you have a nice 2-gen pair. So that one's especially quite nice. What other ones do I want to show? I think those are like the main two. There's also like, there's this one where you have like these two edges swapping and the corner's solved. I like F, fat R, U prime, fat R prime, U prime, fat R, U2, fat R prime, U prime, F prime. You can also invert it, but I think this is probably the easier way to go. And then I guess, I don't know, the last one would be like this one. If you have like two pairs swapped, you can do like R prime F, R to U, R prime F prime, blah, blah, blah. So there's some multi-slotting tricks, but again, like, don't learn these too much, please, because like, they're never going to come up, and it's just so rare. You can learn better stuff. I think the video that came before this is going to be a lot more instructive than what I just showed you, but hey, cool tricks, learn them, maybe. Alright, peace.